Hello and welcome, my Leo friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. Thank you so much for joining me in my Mercury Retrograde readings. This is going to be a general reading for those born under the Leo zodiac. I'm not going to get too in depth into what Mercury Retrograde is. However, I will give you a few important facts. The planet Mercury is a dominating presence over communication. And when I say communication, I mean all communication. As a species, we rely so heavily on our communication, we are profoundly and negatively impacted by this event. And what this is, the retrograde part of this, there's an optical illusion that it looks like Mercury is orbiting backwards. It's not. Mercury itself has slowed down, and it had something to do with the distance from the sun. And this slowing down makes it look like it's going backwards. This phenomenon impacts and negatively impacts our communication. So I'm doing a reading to see what we can expect through Mercury retrograde and some ideas on how to cope with it. For this reading, I'm going to be using the Spiral Tarot. It's a beautiful deck. I've had it for many years. I love the imagery. It was created many decades ago by a woman named Kay Stevenson. Then I'm going to do an Oracle blessing. This is a gorgeous deck. I love the artwork in this. It was created by a woman named Jessica Galbraith and Barbara Moore. I will have links to both these decks below, so if you're drawn to them, you can look them up. Okay, my Leo friends, let's see what the cards have to say about Mercury retrograde for you. Okay, we had a jumper. Oh, starting off in a high note of death. Death is not as scary as it looks. Death is the 15th card in the Major Arcana, and it speaks about change and the importance of change. Things have to die so that things can be reborn. Similar to that in the winter, things die, and then in the spring, things are reborn. Same idea. Second card, the Empress. Still in the Major Arcana, this is the third card in the Major Arcana. This is Mother Earth. This is all about fertility, abundance, and creativity. It's a beautiful card. We go to the Princess of Wands. The Princess of Wands, or in other decks, the Page of Wands, is that childlike innocence and energy, that drive for learning and needing to know. That's going to be important to overcome what's happening here. And finally, the King of Cups. The King of Cups is the most fully developed personality of the suit. He's got the most power and most control in that suit. He's on his head right now. So this way he is in total control. Cups are about connected in with the element of water and are connected with our intuition and our emotions. This way he has total control. Nothing gets by him, nothing impacts him. He's able to deal with the rockiest and hardest seas. On his head, though, we're looking at that things are not going as well. He does not have that control. He has lost control of his element, and his emotions are now driving him. Start changing these or tying these all together. So we start off with death. That's an important card of change. Mercury retrograde gives you that ability to make some changes in your life. Things are going to have to change for you to end up with the Empress in all her abundance. Change is not a bad thing. As a species, we hate change. We resist it to the nth degree. Death also talks about the death of our ego, allowing something that isn't working. And we've got something here that isn't working. The King of Cups is not working. Your emotions are going to be getting the best of you. Your ego is going to be driving you here. Death talks about that need for letting that piece to go. What's not working needs to be let go, get rid of, so that you can have more bountiful and more creative ideas coming forward. The Princess and the Empress are very connected here because we're talking about that childlike wonder that's going to help drive you. It's going to help you kind of soften the blow of death, that loss that we have when we have to let stuff go and change. It's also going to help drive you forward. It's going to help drive you here. Okay? This isn't going to help. The communication and miscommunications that are going to be happening during Mercury retrograde are hard. They're even harder to deal with if your emotions are not in check. If you are being driven by your emotions and run by your emotions and your ego, it's going to be even harder. When you let go of some of this stuff that you're holding on to, you're going to be able to cope better, and you're going to find things are going to work better for you. You're going to have lots of growth. She brings in an element of play, that inner child, that importance of allowing your inner child out to play. This is not about work. This is about an internal shift for you. Mercury retrograde is going to bring that on. It's going to give you time to reflect and think about where you want to go next. Allow that inner child to play. Allow yourself to grow. If you stay in this quadrant of the reading, you're going to find yourself perpetually spinning in the muck, that you're not going to get anywhere, and you'll find that the King of Cups really, really will lose control of that emotion. That emotion will drive you, and it will drive you into very negative spaces. Let's look at the major challenge of all of this. Five of Pentacles. The challenge here, and it's hard when you have a more challenging card to start off with, but when you're looking at a change, there's got to be a reason. Emotions, we always have them, but there's a change, and that's all about the Five of Pentacles. Fives are all about instability and conflict. Pentacles about that growth and abundance. Five of Pentacles talks about the lack of abundance, that isolation piece, not feeling fulfilled. That is exactly why we have that as the major problem. Change is not your major problem. Change is change. The problem being the underlying issue, the major obstacle, is that isolation piece, that piece that you're not feeling fulfilled. How are you going to overcome that? That's going to be through the Princess and the Empress. Allowing your inner child out, following your passion, allowing yourself to grow. This side talks about it, and the King of Cups has lost his ability to control his element because the Five of Pentacles is your major obstacle. When you're feeling fulfilled and you're feeling that life has great joy to it, the King of Pentacles or the King of Cups is right side, and you're able to control that. He's controlling his element. There's no problems. Right now, that isolation piece and despair piece, they're really starting to impact him. Not helpful during Mercury retrograde because the communications are going to be harder. This is going to be more about an internal thing for you. Let's see what the Oracle wants to bless us with. Okay, this is the Gothic fairy. She encompasses fear. This can be very scary. Like I said, change is very scary. Gothic talks about that need to be able to control our fears. Fears being an emotion, and right now we're not being able to control that piece. But also knowing that you can conquer that fear, that uncertainty piece. It's a good blessing to have. It looks kind of dark here, but knowing that you can overcome this and move past the Five of Pentacles, get into the Empress, right? Into the sun and enjoy yourself. That's going to be the big piece. For those who wish, you can pause the video here and reflect on these cards. This is a group reading. However, the cards are meant for you. They're meant to speak to you. Everyone has intuition, and you can access that guidance at any time. You can gain further guidance from the spread by accessing your intuition. Check into the cards. What did they say to you? I hope you found this video helpful and that you were able to get some direction for the next couple of weeks and through Mercury Retrograde. Thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching my video. I will be continuing to create more videos for the zodiac in the next coming weeks. If you have any suggestions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment box below. I'm always up for feedback. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. If you like this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page with many tiers and lots of perks. I've provided a helpful link below. Until next time, my friends.